Welcome to Let's Talk About Health, an informational podcast that gives you insights on health and fitness from experts themselves that you can apply directly to your own personal health and fitness stories. Come join me today to hear all about what they have to say on health and fitness. So, hello, we have Jordan with us today, and she's a nutrition and fitness guru, and she has she has worked years and years in nutrition, and we were just talking about it some time back. How you were telling me about how you've helped people with different disorders with just with nutrition and fitness. So we're here. Thank you so much for joining me today and just talking about health.
Of course. Yeah, really. I'm excited to be here, so ask me whatever you would
Okay,
like to
let's
hear.
start by asking you this is my favorite question ever. What what is health?
Okay, what is uh, such an all-encompassing question? Like I could just sit here and talk about it forever. For me, I feel like a lot of people think that health is the absence of being you're not sick. And so I like to think of health as like almost like a pyramid approach or like a three-pronged approach where you're thinking like your emotional, your mental health as well as your physical health. That's your nutrition and your fitness, thing like that. And then of course, if you're a spiritual person, then that, in with your emotional and mental health as well. So there's all different dynamics that can kind of create like an overall sense of well-being, and it's not just the absence of, if that makes sense. That's the best kind of approaches where you're like mind, body, spirit, like you're approaching things and from like all different facets. So sometimes when I teach, like for instance, when I'm teaching a fitness class or something like that, I'm like, I want you to find that mind muscle connection. I want you to find what muscle you're working, what muscle are you working, where, find it in your brain. So that's kind of like where I'm going with it. Like you can't be healthy in one area of your life, and there's another area of your life that you're unhealthy in, because it's just not going to be, you're not going to have an equilibrium.
I 100% agree with you, because that's exactly how I would define health as well. What you were mentioning about spiritual aspect, and I know you're certified as a holistic nutritional expert. So how do you mix the spiritual aspect with nutrition?
I typically don't. I find like that's a very private thing to most people. And I feel like if that's something that they want to kind of go into further, I offer guidance on where to seek out whatever it is you're looking for, if that makes sense. So like if you're looking for certain types of um, whatever religion you are or something like that, like these are some good, people that, you could go talk to, or podcasts to listen to, um, like help with meditation, those kinds of things. I typically tend to not dive into that with people
because
they're curious about it.
it could be different for different people. But would you
Yeah, it's different
recommend
for
it if
everybody.
someone asks you for it?
Yeah, if they had certain questions about it or whatever, I would definitely just be like, here's maybe some guidance for you. You go see this person, or this might help for whatever it is that you're looking
Tell us
for
what
sure.
drove
Yeah.
you towards fitness and nutrition.
Well, I've always been really interested in like eating and nutrition pretty much whole life, and just the way the human body works, just curious about it, but I never was too interested in it, and I loved cooking and everything like that. But I didn't really get interested into it until I knew a girl that I worked with in a restaurant who couldn't eat anything because
Right.
she was allergic to everything. And for some reason, I just found that so interesting. And that's when I kind of started trying to figure out, like, okay, what can I make for her? What can I do for her? How can I do this? And it just started like, well, maybe I should look more into this. I love learning. Maybe I'll go back to school for it. And that's kind of like how it just snowballed into learning more about the human body and the way it works and how nutrition can
And
help us and all of
you
those
started
things.
it like years back.
Yeah, it was probably in 2016 or 2017 when I decided to start looking more and started
Wow.
going back to school for
That's
nutrition.
that's amazing. How would you approach diet, exercise, sleep, all of it?
I feel like there is not a one size fits all for everybody. Um, I feel like it really just depends on the person. It depends on what season of life they're in. You have to take into account what their goals are. They're different. Some people, maybe want to enter a bikini contest to become a bodybuilder, and that's wonderful. And some people, they just want to be able to their grandkids up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you understand that as well. Um, or maybe some people's goals are to lose some weight after having a baby or whatever it is. So I really don't like to give like blanketed statements on nutrition and wellness. I'm going to say always drink your water, get sleep, work out, get sunshine, walk. Walking is fantastic. Be social, have even if it's just a friend or something that you talk on the phone with every now and
Mm-hmm.
then. That's super important for humans. Try to eat mindfully. So you always want to, I say, eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full.
Correct.
That's a really
Yeah.
hard for a lot of people. That's understandable. We've grown up in a culture where, you're taught to clean your plate and, you have to eat all of this and all of that. And so that's kind of what I like to kind of preach is like, eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. Don't deprive yourself of anything either. When you start to completely cut out food groups, unless it's for a specific reason. I mean, there's nothing wrong with anybody cutting those food groups out, or when you just completely cut them out for losing weight or anything like that, then you kind of start to deprive yourself and kind of start to possibly, you know, the mental aspect and starting to develop eating
Right.
disorders and everything like that. But those would be my big blanket statements is, drink half your body weight in ounces in water, get out in the sunshine, go on walks, be social with your friends and family, take some time for yourself every day, even if that's 5 or 10 minutes a day, eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full. You want to have protein, fat, and fiber in every meal. Um, those are my big ones that I would probably say.
I
That's a lot.
love
Right there.
each
What
and
I
everything
is a
that you
lot.
said because when you
Yeah.
think about each and everything, like every statement, it has so much of meaning. Like have drink half of your body weight. I never even thought about that. Yeah, and
Uh-huh.
to be very honest, I need to work on that too.
I do too. Yeah, I love water, but I have to remind myself to drink water as well. I mean, it's
Right.
good for you to drink your water. Um, you certainly don't need to drink, a ton of it. But if you're sweating out or if you're exercising, you definitely want to for sure drink your water and drink it every day. Stay hydrated. It's also good for your skin and
Right.
your digestion,
I
everything
saw
like
Michael
that.
joined
So,
in. Hi, Michael.
oh hi, there he is.
Okay. Getting back to the next question. Um, it's so
Yeah.
difficult. Like I come from Indian background, completely where our mothers give us a plate filled with so many things to eat, be it oily, fatty, sweets, all of it, and it's so difficult to resist. So how does a person stay motivated or committed to their fitness goals?
It's consistency, 100%. And it's knowing that your goals are going to change, and they are going to change from day to day, and you don't know what, you know, you have to show up for yourself. And if you don't show up, then you can't beat yourself up. Like, let's say, you had a bad day at work or whatever, and you decided to, eat half a cake, or drink too many martinis with it, and you wake up, you feel like crap the next day and whatever, and then you're like, well, I'm done now. I've already done it, so I'm just done with eating healthy and working out and all those things. Well, no, just like accept the fact that you continue to move forward. So you have to constantly be persistent with it and consistent. um it's important to note that we all, like, even if you have certain goals, and say you're crushing your goals, like maybe you want to lose 10 pounds in X amount of time or something like that, and you get there, you're like, you're always going to have a new goal, and there's always going to be setbacks. So you might suffer a sickness or a death in the family, or maybe you have an injury or surgery, and then you have to work your way back up to that. It's a lifestyle that you're just constantly going to be reaching for a new goal, or getting back to where you were before, till
Right.
you die, basically.
Are
It's a
there any
lifestyle change.
tips or tricks to staying on track?
Ah,
Okay.
yes, creating a routine is, for me, I like to create lists and know, okay, I'm doing this, this, and this, and this. So, like, let's say on Sunday night,
Right.
creating your list for the week. And so maybe you're like, when it comes to food, you want to do the exact same thing. You want to do your grocery. I suggest, if you have access to it and it's available
Mm,
to you, to do something like a grocery pickup instead of going grocery shopping, because that's going to make you less likely to buy things on impulse. It's also going to help you save money because you're not
I
buying stuff on
relate.
impulse.
Yeah.
So I would suggest, yeah, batch is wonderful. Anytime you cook anything, make doubles, triples, freeze the rest, so you can always have something in the freezer that you can pull out. Always have staples on hand, when that, like, you always want to have some potatoes, some sweet potatoes, some like frozen veggies and frozen
Right.
fruits are great to have on hand. Plan your food. Same thing with your exercise. Now, I don't know what kind of exercise. I'm at the standpoint, when it comes to exercise, if it makes you happy and it makes you feel good, and you feel good doing it, and you want to do it, then do it. And I know that maybe that's a very different opinion than a lot of people, because a lot of people think you should be doing this, and this, the traditional strength training, which is wonderful, and I love it as well. Or everybody likes Pilates, or only people want to do HIIT exercises, or whatever it is. I feel like you should get out there and do whatever it is that makes you happy and makes you active. But also try new things as well, and be open to new things, and be able to plan that activity out around your day. So if you know you're going to be working all day long, and you're not going to want to work out after work, guess what? You're going to have to work out before you go to work. So you better plan in that. So just create that routine where you're waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're doing your workout 4 times a week, or whatever it is, and you're getting your steps in, and on Monday through Thursday you're eating XYZ, and you're doing that. And that's really all it is, just being real basic, and just planning. Like, it's monotonous is really all it is. It's just basic monotony, but planning your routine and knowing exactly what you're going to do. And that's
Do you
really all
think
it is, and being
it helps
consistent
to
with it.
have like a friend um to be consistent, or like a coach, or like you, someone who's expert, to just keep a watch, have an eye, just push you?
Yeah, I think some people do that way. I think some people want to be pushed. That's the only way they will do it. So if you feel like you're one of those people, then you definitely want to look to hiring a professional to help you, or joining a group fitness class. Going to the gym and joining classes that way, because it's a great way to hold yourself accountable, or a yoga studio or something like that. When it comes to exercise, then yeah, grab a friend. If you are nervous about being around people you don't know, see if you have a friend that'll push you and do it with you, and that way you hold each other accountable.
Sounds good. What are the common cases that you
Yeah.
come across, like obesity, overweight, and how do you tackle them?
Honestly, that is, obviously a problem. But I have mainly only worked with people that had issues with autoimmune issues. So it wasn't really obesity or overweight, um, or somebody who needed like some correct exercises with their exercise. So I typically haven't. I will say that that is a problem mentally, and it's not so much about what they're eating, but it's a mental issue that is going on. Or I mean, there is obviously always the case of like hormones or something like that. It
Mhm.
could absolutely be something metabolism. Most of the time, it's not. That there's a mental issue that is causing somebody to overeat, and so usually the best thing to do with that is create, our SMART goals, those measurable goals. Have be on them and create accountability for them and keep them consistent. Basically, is usually what I would do in that type of
You came across a
situation.
lot of autoimmune diseases. Can you tell more about how
Yeah.
they presented to you and how did you go about helping them?
Yeah, so I worked with some people that had a lot of different food allergies. So maybe they were allergic to, dairy or eggs or something like that. But also had some clients that were had tick-borne illnesses, which caused them to, so they were bitten by a tick, and that caused them to develop like their immune system to not function the way it's supposed to, and that caused them to
Mm-hmm.
develop food allergies, and then that caused them to not be able to eat certain things and have to seek out guidance on what can I eat, what can I not eat. um, and then working with a couple cases where they had some issues with it's been a while that their immune system was attacking their brain, so that one was a real interesting. So yeah, it's real interesting. And you could definitely dive deeper into it. But it's a case by
Right.
case type of
So,
thing.
the food that or the diet plan that you provide depends as per the case. Right.
Yes, it's typically something like an elimination diet, meaning you're going to eliminate all of the top 8 like food triggers, which would be like your dairy, your eggs, your fish, your shellfish, your tree nuts, your nuts. I think I missed one in there. I'm missing one. But your
Mm-hmm.
gluten, soy, eliminating those if they haven't already done so, um, for quite some time, and figuring out what their triggers are,
Right.
getting their gut health back, and them just heal
You're
at the same time.
also a fitness instructor, right? Group fitness instructor. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah. Um, so the type of group fit I can teach pretty much any kind of basic group fitness. I wouldn't say like not like a yoga class or anything like that, but any kind of basic group fitness, like a HIIT type style, boot camp type style. But I'm also certified in bar, which is the type I teach. Is it's kind of a combination of Pilates, traditional strength training, and we do intense cardio in it as well. And yeah, I love it. It's a great workout. And I encourage anybody to try any kind of new workout that you haven't tried before, that you've been seeing before. Go try it out. Try it more than once. Try it 3 or 4
I was
times
going to
before you
ask
decide you
you,
don't
what
like
is
it.
bar intensity?
Um,
Not a lot of people know about it. Can you tell us more about it?
yeah, so basically, whenever somebody says bar, there's definitely different styles of it. But a typical bar workout means it's a full body workout, and you're going to be typically working with light set of weights. So when I say light set of weights, I mean like 1 pound weights, 2 pound weights, 3 pound weights. You do high repetitions, and you go up to a ballet bar, and you do like exercises there. And so that's a typical like traditional where you do all your thighs, you do all your lower body work out there, and then you do your abs. So it's a full body workout. And we do all those exact same things in bar intensity, except ours is a little bit more incorporated. I personally love cardio, so I always like to try to incorporate that in there, and then Pilates as well. And so you get a really good burn, and it's not your traditional strength training, but you are going to be in it, and it's wonderful for your core, great lower body if that's what you're looking for. Yeah, they're all different, and definitely I would say anybody give that a
So
try.
would
It's
you
for
recommend
everybody.
interval training over regular strength training?
I wouldn't do it every day. I don't think you should be doing like intense cardio every single day. As much as I love it, like your body needs to rest. And so I honestly think kind of depends on your body and what your body is going to allow you what to do. So walking at a brisk pace for cardio is perfectly fine. But if you are a runner and you love to run up until you can't run anymore. Um, you know, so I as much as I love hit and doing intense cardio, I know that it is, not something that I
Right.
need to be doing every single
Um,
day.
I like your examples, like run till you cannot run anymore. Stop when you're full.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way you
Yeah.
think and like do it. But then when you're done, just be done.
Yeah. Thank
I
you.
need to do that, So
Right.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm noticing. A lot of people quit before realizing it actually excites them, or before actually committing to
Mhm.
it. They just want to try it a one session, two session, and be like, "Oh no, let's try something else." There's no consistency. So I'm noticing that.
Yeah.
Do you fitness, um, nutrition? The next step to nutrition is telehealth. We're in the world post-COVID where we're using technology so much, and that we can do a lot of training and a lot of diet and nutrition over the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it is a great thing. I think it's wonderful that it happened, and it was a way to connect people. I don't think it's necessarily going to completely change and go that way. I think people still prefer to be in person. I think that there is something about just being in person and um, connecting with people on that level that you can't get like over the phone, talking. Um, but I love it. I love the whole online presence and that people can do that and make that their living and their success. I think it's amazing.
That's nice. Because a lot of people have mixed opinions, so it's good to know that there are a few aspects that we can use towards health and fitness.
Sure, absolutely.
Definitely. Can you tell me what inspired, or who rather inspired you towards nutrition?
Gosh, there's so many. I mean, really, it was just that friend that kind of sparked my interest in like just being curious about her. And then I just started reading books. I like Mark Hyman, most of his stuff. Like I'm kind of, um, I like Dr. Axe. I like him a lot. I like some of his stuff. I think that there's a lot of really great um, wellness influencers. When I say that, I mean like nutrition, fitness, like out there. I think it's just to be take things with a grain of salt. Don't like subscribe to the whole ideology or lifestyle. Do what fits you and your family best. There's a wonderful lady that Abby's Kitchen. I don't know her last name, but she's a registered dietitian that I follow. That's you probably if you've been on TikTok or
Mhm.
Instagram, you've probably got real cute, got a blonde hair. I really like her a lot. I feel like she gives very good sound, normal advice for people. But yeah, I would say that those would probably be my top couple that I like, and I think that their advice is is good. Yeah.
What do you think is next on your plan? What do you want to accomplish next?
I'm currently working on my corrective exercise specialization, so
Oh,
we're
wow.
working on it right now.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so you probably know what that is then.
Uh-huh. Ergonomics and
Yeah. So
posture.
yeah, it's hard, so we'll see. We'll get there. Yeah.
You got this.
Yeah, the potentials limit the possibilities are limitless, so I'm always open to new opportunities.
Right. Any advice that you have for 18-year-old Jordan as to how to tackle things, what to do, what not to do?
Oh gosh. I wouldn't change anything really, honestly. I wish I had gotten into I was active my whole life, and liked food my whole life and was super interested in it, so I'm lucky in that sense that it has been something that's really ever been new to me. Have I gotten off track with it? Yeah, of course. But it's always something that I've always really liked. I wish I'd gotten into it sooner.
Okay. Any core principles that you follow and you would like everyone to just work on it?
I would say when it comes to, like I said, when it comes to the food and the fitness, create a plan.
Right.
Just get out. Like I got my little composition notebook right here, or like the yellow like tablets or the notes in your phone. I write workouts on the notes in my phone all the time. Just create a plan. Like these are my goals. That's the best thing to do. Figure out what it is that you want. Sit there for 10 minutes and like, what do I actually want? How do I want to achieve this? Do I need people to help me? This is what I want. Once you figure that, what it is that you want to do, then you start taking the steps to get that to come to fruition. And then, understand that it's going to take time to get to where you, and I think sometimes that's where people give up. But you have to understand, especially when you go into a gym setting, and let's say you're new to a gym, and it's very overwhelming, and it's very it can make a lot of people nervous if they've never been in a gym. um, and you're seeing people that are very, fit and athletic looking, and they look really good, but you have to understand that they had a starting point too, and they were once new at a gym also, and they understand where you've been, and in fact it's not that overwhelming either. And it's also nice to be, see people that maybe they're not as fit and in there doing that, but they're still in there doing it, and then they might have had, a setback in a surgery or a health setback or something like that. And so to just always be, mindful of that, and to be kind to others, and be open to trying new experiences when it comes to fitness. But creating that plan, getting consistent, figuring out what your goals are, and then following through with them is the best thing that I would say.
Do you think you should keep experimenting, trying new things, or just stick to the basics, stick to your foundation, and work with that?
I love sticking to foundational stuff and basics and everything like that, but like the nutrition and fitness industry is always changing. The wellness industry is always changing. You have to understand, like, nutrition in a sense of just like nutrition, basic nutrition, I think it's like 200 years old where people started learning more about this. And obviously the fitness industry has blown up in the past, like, I mean, well, definitely in the past several years because of COVID and doing things online, but really since the 80s, 90s is when it really started to blow up. So it's still really new as well. So I say, foundational stuff is great, but, always be out looking, opening your eyes to seeing what's out there. And, if you're looking for a mentor, like a trainer or a nutrition coach, um, do your due diligence, do your background information on them. If you want stuff online, the fitness industry is unregulated in the United States, and you don't have to have any certifications or anything like that to coach online. So wanting to spend your money with somebody, ask them for their certifications, where'd they get their education from. Same thing with nutrition. Like, just be, and you're going to spend your hard-earned money with them. So if you're wanting to go that route and do the whole online thing, then just be mindful of that and check for, education and background with people.
Right. Just stay educated, stay on top of things, and um, what do you think about keto? Because it was pretty popular, keto in between. Do you have any thoughts about keto?
No, not really. I think if it works for people, and I know that some people that it does, then great. I've never, that's one of the very few that I've never tried, because I've tried a lot of different things just for the sake of trying them, like I got to try
Yeah.
this. I have never tried that before, so I can't say for certainty. My experience would be different than another person's experience, but if it's working for them and it's, they're talking to their doctor and have no health issues with them, then great, go for it.
What about intermittent fasting?
Same thing. I personally wasn't a fan of intermittent fasting for myself. As women, we actually can't go as long as men. Our hormones are different. So you do want to be very mindful of how long you go without eating. So that wasn't something that worked well for me. I work best where my body wants to eat at breakfast, lunch, dinner, and it wants 2 snacks in between that, and that's when I get hungry, and that's just the way it is. That's just how I am. I also cannot work out hungry, and I know that a lot of times when you fast, you're going to be hungry doing that. I know that you can get used to it, and I have done it for weeks, and it actually wasn't that bad. I just didn't see how it was benefiting me.
Right.
And so if it works for you, yeah, great.
You mentioned about hormones and how they play a role, especially in women, you know. So, is there any particular food or diet plan that you suggest while girls they're on their periods, or what precautions they should take, what to eat, what to be careful? I know I crave for chocolate a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but should we do as per our cravings or just go according to our diet?
Well, there are some different diets out there called like cycle syncing, where you can eat towards your different phases, like your follicular phase or your luteal phase, or and you can do that with your exercises as well. I don't know a lot about it. I've read into it a little bit. I'm kind of the type of person that if you're craving it, eat it. Like, you're not going to not crave it. A lot of times if you are craving chocolate, though, you're probably craving magnesium as well. So get that magnesium spray or get that Mag Calm that comes in a powder, drink it in your water. And that can help with the chocolate cravings. If you feel like you have like some very serious issues, which there are definitely very serious issues, definitely just go see your doctor, get your hormones. You've got to be your own advocate for your health. And if you know you better than anybody else knows you, and so if you go to your doctor and they're not following your advice, guess what? Your doctor works for you.
Right.
So you go find another doctor and
Right.
figure out what is going on with you. And that would be like my best advice for that. But when it comes to like the different ways you can eat during different phases in your cycle, I don't know too much about it. I've read just a little bit about it. I know that it's kind of really popular right now.
Right.
But yeah, I would say just follow your cravings.
We'd be best friends
Yeah,
if we met.
just eat chocolate.
I'd be like, I want to do this. You're like, yeah, just go do it.
Yeah, that's me. Go do it.
That's how I know we'd be best friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Any last piece of advice that you'd like to give everybody?
No, I'm just glad to be here. I'm so glad that you found me, and it was so nice to get to know you, and thankful that, I haven't talked about any of this kind of stuff in a really long time. So I always enjoy talking about it and learning about it, and I'm glad to always share anything. And yeah. just very grateful.
Thank you so much
Well,
for being a part of Let's Talk About Health
yeah.
and just being so excited and so supportive of the
Oh, yeah.
initiative that I started. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Well, where should people find you if they wanna find you?
Well, if you're local, which I don't know, there might be a few people local. I'm at Fayetteville Athletic Club, but you could just find me under my name. It's Jordan Anderson, Jordan Anderson Wellness. Message me. I'm happy to go talk to anybody about anything.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad a lot of my friends are gonna love this
Yep.
session. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was so nice to meet you,
It
Bhavna.
was lovely meeting you.
All right.
And get connected.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm your bestie, so
Oh,
I got. Okay. Well, good night. Have a lovely rest of your night.
okay, you too.
Bye bye. Thank you for listening to our talk about health. You can follow me on Instagram at bhavna.devnani, on Facebook at bhavna devnani, and we'll leave all the information in the description below. Thank you.